Call, a Comomida Curtain Call, a weekly program of reviews, previews, interviews, and features of and with the great art and artists on Maui and beyond. I'm Paul James Brown. Kekaulike Drama is putting on their 4th edition of The Lady Pirates of Captain Bree with music and lyrics by Bill Francouer and book by Martin Follose, directed by Chris Kepler and pit orchestra direction by Casey Nagata. This play has become a rite of passage for every senior class since 2010. Mr. Kepler says, quote, "It has become our show and brings a connecting legacy to each generation of Dramatican students," unquote. The story is about a band of lady pirates who are led by Captain Bree, Cadence Welch. They take over a merchant ship, the Kekaulike, commanded by Captain Jennings, Ethan Bisa. All of his crew abandon the ship at the sight of the pirates, and he is left with Fergus, Hunter Meyer Horseman, an Irishman from Galway who cannot swim, and his passengers, Madame Prescott, Sasha Wittenberg, the wife of the British ambassador, her nephew, Samuel Bennett Guzman, and her niece, Julia Della Height, and the Professor Bidwell, Justice Green, an aristocratic writer, as well as a cabin boy, Bertie Hammonds, and a Swedish cook, Finn Gemgochinen, and a host of prisoners. In desperation, Captain Jennings orders the prisoners freed to fight off the pirates. In order to protect Samuel from the pirates, Lady Prescott and Julia suggest he become a lady. Samuel feels insulted at this idea and stubbornly declines. However, when the peril becomes apparent, he enthusiastically dons one of Lady Prescott's dresses. The battle was a brilliant bit of choreography by Mr. Kepler. Yes, he's the choreographer too, of the controlled chaos. At several instances in the orchestral accompaniment, the sword contact is used as a rhythmical, percussive element. When the ladies are victorious, they find the ship has no treasure. Captain Bree determines to ransom Lady Prescott. Meanwhile, Julia decides she wants to be a pirate, to the horror and disdain of her aunt. Fergus is captured and made to walk the plank. This is truly ghastly since he is unable to swim. As he is about to land in the drink, one of the pirates, Patty, Mayalani Wright, connects with him when he reveals he is from her hometown of Galway, and she implores Captain Bree to spare him, which she reluctantly allows. Meanwhile, Gabriella, Rowan Sundberg-Yanel, has captured the Swedish cook. In a hilarious interaction, Gabriella is asked by Captain Bree to tell her what the cook has said. He speaks English in a very strong Scandinavian dialect. Gabriella tells Captain Bree verbatim, to which Captain Bree insists she translate it into pirate, which she does on every occasion when the cook is featured. Miss Sundberg-Yanel is not only multilingual, but she speaks like a vocal machine gun. Shauna, Lillian Hagler, has discovered that Samuel is not a woman, to her delight, and conspires to seduce him while she is on watch the following night. They get together, and it goes pretty well until she hears the approach of someone. Samuel escapes, and she falls asleep at the wheel, literally. Samuel then leads the prisoners in an escape. The pirates are in hot pursuit, and when they recapture the lot, their femininity gets the best of them, and they decide, "There be a man for every wench." They determine Bidwell needs to go, and the act ends with him at the end of the plank. It picks up there after a 15-minute intermission. Julia is given a pirate test by Captain Bree to force the execution of Bidwell. When she is hesitant and reluctant, he then refuses. However, his execution is interrupted by what he thinks is a whale sighting. It turns out to be 13 dolphins. This causes Captain Bree to declare this is a sign of luck and cancels Bidwell's execution. This delights the apprentice pirate Molly Bellamoon Hunkin, who every time there is violence sounds more like Gandhi preaching pacifism than Blackbeard extolling ultra-violence. Captain Bree dispatches the cabin boy to deliver the ransom note to the Brits, but Lady Prescott is given the opportunity to talk to him separately, and she tells him to bring the royal fleet to rescue them. The cabin boy is given till the next new moon to return with the ransom. Sparks begin to flash between Captain Bree and Captain Jennings, and when the British are seen off the starboard, Captain Jennings comes up with a plan to solve all of their problems. Will the sparks turn into a flame? Will Captain Jennings' plan work? Will the pirates get their men? Will Julia be accepted? You have 3 more chances to find out: Friday and Saturday at 7 p.m. and Sunday at 2 p.m. at King Kekaulike Performing Arts Center in Pukalani. Go to waveofharmony.org for advance tickets or show up a half hour before curtain for in-person purchase. The hallmarks of a Chris Kepler musical are a huge cast, this has 42, extreme enthusiasm from the cast, characterized by extra excited vocalizing, and fun for all. This show is no exception. The cacophonous battles and chases its edge-of-your-seat excitement. There are several standouts in this cast for whom this is their swan song. They are seniors. At the top of that list are 2 of Mr. Kepler's brightest stars, Ethan Beisa and Cadence Welch. Master Beisa has been on stage since he was a child and has distinguished himself as Romeo, Fagin, and Sherlock Holmes here at King Kekaulike. Ms. Welch did Oliver, Lizzie Borden, and she is Mercutio in Romeo and Juliet, where she really got down to business. As Captain Bree, she found the balance between Captain's braggadocio, extroverted outer personality, and her soft, compassionate inner personality. She was the leader in 3 numbers: The Lady Pirates of Captain Bree, There Be a Man for Every Wench, and We're a Nasty Lot, The Plank. But her best number was her duet with Master Beisa in Oh My Captain in the 2nd act. Master Beisa was commanding to the crew of his ship and deferential as well as accommodating to Madame Prescott, her family, and Professor Bidwell, but the feelings he had for Captain Bree appeared to be a surprise to him. Ms. Wittenberger's Madame Prescott was beyond over the top in her characterization of this aristocratic, better-than-thou, contemptuous lady of the manor who only knows how to scream. As the wannabe pirate, Ms. Haight comes across as genuinely adventurous and ready, willing, and able to do what it will take to make it as a pirate until she is given the opportunity to administer the execution of Professor Bidwell. She has her best musical moment where she showed a fine set of pipes in ship shape in Bristol fashion. Master Guzman has difficulty in keeping his dress on, and frequently others who are supposed to be covering for him confuse pronouns which he handles. His relationship with Shauna was a moment for him to be who he really was. One of the most interesting characters was the peacenik pirate played by Bellamoon Hunkin. She was like the motto of Dartmouth College: Vox calmans in deserto, a voice crying in the wilderness. Every time there was talk of violence or cruelty, she would be the one to ask why they couldn't just be peaceful and harmonious to the boisterous catcalls of the other pirates. Another senior who has given his all during his time at King Kekaulike is Quinn Wilson. He has been in just about every show since he started school. He proves the adage that one of the greatest acting teachers ever, Konstantin Stanislavski, that, quote, "There are no small parts, only small actors." He gave it his all every time he was on stage, fully present and in the moment. Among the many positive elements of this production is live music. Ta-da! Casey Nagata and Mr. Kepler have been collaborating for 16 years, and their big annual musical always has a live orchestra. Take note, everyone, this is a high school that eschews tracks. Be like them. This show runs this coming Friday and Saturday at 7 p.m. and Sunday at 2. Advance tickets are available at waveofharmony.org or half hour before curtain at the box office. It's a fun show. Well, that's Curtain Call for this week. Mahalo nui loa for joining me. I'm Paul James Brown. Maui strong. Ahui ho.